got prep for Paris. So Rissy qualified late last year, but officially announced a little while ago in your Olympic shirts, which is really exciting. And I saw there was an Instagram post, and there's this moment where like you cover your mouth like before it started, almost like you just couldn't believe it months later. How were your feelings on that day?
I think I was just like, well, my coach had come up to Canberra to see me because he wasn't at the Solomon Islands. So I was just like, ooh, like, how is this even happening? And getting my official ticket was just like, what is actually going on? Like, this is such a pinch me moment that I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
So like last year you were selected for the Pacific Games, which I think you might have mentioned earlier, and you knew that you could get an Olympic spot if you did win. Except 2 weeks before that, I think you dislocated your knee, which is really not ideal. Did you like evaluate the risks, like if you did like compete and possibly like injure yourself further?
Yeah, I actually got a non-medical clearance to not be able to box. Originally, I was told if you really want it, you'll box at the next Olympics, and I just thought, absolutely not. I was just too stubborn. I was just like, nah, 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 nah. Like, I've made it this far. Like, no one knows me more than I know myself. I know that I'm capable. I've got nothing to lose. You know, if I lose the fight, like, at least I tried, type of thing. So I did everything that I can. I did all my rehab in the water. You know, I made weight by running in the water. I wasn't really eating that much because I wasn't able to run or anything like that, skip or anything. I wore compression tights in the fight. And I won the first 2 rounds, and the third round I just stayed away from my opponent because I knew I'd already won the fight, so I didn't want to risk injuring myself, and I didn't want to risk losing the fight from a knockout or something like that. So I was like, win the first round, won it 5-0. Second round, 4-1. I was like, yeah, there's no way she can beat me. So I want to stay away, and got my ticket to Paris, and my knees back to normal, which is thank gosh. So
Yeah. And I think the squad recently actually went to the US for a training camp and I guess some practice fights. Are you happy with what you've kind of taken away from that and been able to learn from that?
yeah, Colorado Springs was just amazing. You know, inspired the world champion from my weight division last year. You're around Olympic, you're rubbing shoulders with Olympic champions and world champions. So I think coming back to my home gym, I'm just constantly, there's like, my coach has a list of dot points of things that I need to work on from, but it just makes me so happy because like that's what it like, that's the life you live as an athlete, just constantly improving and wanting to be better. And yeah, had the best time over there, which is great.
Yeah, so what does it actually like, I guess, look like between now and Paris? You mentioned like the dot points like with your coach from before and like learning from that, but is it mostly just about like staying fit and doing training, or is it like more fights, like not wanting to get injured, but like you also want to prepare, I guess?
Yeah. So with the Australian team. I will be going to Amsterdam in 2 weeks for a competition. That will be my last comp before Paris. And then we're going to Sheffield for a training camp in the UK. And then we'll be home for 3 weeks. And then I'll go to Queensland and then Germany for a pre-camp. And then I'll be in Paris. But when I am home, that's when the hard work is really done, because we're looking at things from a technical, like a micro, we're really just like looking at it from a micro angle, and just it's frustrating being like the nitty gritty stuff, throwing the same punch 1,000 times in a row. But when I go away again and I get to deliver it in the ring, that's the reason why we do it. And I guess my home coach, doing all that work with him, is what's put me in this position in the first place. So that the time with him is really precious to me.
Yeah. And I guess I think like I've seen like stuff like boxing is an individual sport, but it seems like that there's a really good like team spirit between you and like all of the other boxers. Can you talk about how I guess the relationship between boxers is actually just so important within like the Australian team?
Yeah, we have a really good team captain, Caitlin Parker. She's really set the standard. She's put the bar really high, and this is her second Olympics. So she's been on the Australian team, I think, for 16 years. So she's very professional. So you want to be the same. You want to fill those shoes. Everyone's very different. We're all different weight divisions. We're all coming from different cultural backgrounds. We've all been through different stuff, been boxing for a different amount of time. So we all bring something different to the table. But at the end of the day, we're all here for the same shared goal, and that's to win a gold medal at the Olympics. And having achieved probably our greatest life achievement together, which is qualifying for the Olympics, that sort of bonded us for life probably. So we have a really good team camaraderie, and it's, they're family to me. So
Yeah, just like you mentioned, I guess there's such a great like diversity in the squad. You've got Tina, the first Muslim Australian Olympic boxer, and then Caitlin, like you've also mentioned, like the first to make 2 Olympics, which is a big achievement. And then you also what you've achieved already. Like, does the fact that you're making so much history make it even more special? And just do you feel like more united, I guess?
yeah, and I'm like, I clap for them the loudest. Like I'm so proud to share this with them. Like, I'm so proud of Tina. I'm so proud of Caitlin. I'm so proud of every female on the team. Like, this is the biggest female team we've ever had. This is the biggest team Australia's ever had. So when my teammates fight, like, I'm roaring. Like, I'm over the moon for them. I'm stoked for them. So, and I think they feel the same about me, hopefully. So, yeah.
And I think we actually chatted about this in the past interview, but so you're the first female Indigenous boxer, but boxing is actually the sport, like you've mentioned, with the most Indigenous Olympians. I think there's been like 20 men. Have you chatted to any of them? Like, I guess a lot about it, and I guess just the experience and like the history with that.
There are, I have met a couple of the Olympians, Aboriginal Olympians, but I guess, I don't know, I just think that maybe my experience is just going to be different. Like, it feels different. It feels like a new era of Australian boxing. I think like it's weird. The way that I fell into boxing wasn't because I was like really inspired by anyone to, sort of start it. So it's sort of like I've just met these people along the way. But yeah, it's nice to sort of, link up with them and have a yarn whenever I can.
And I guess I've just got a bit more that I want to ask you about with like sponsorship, which is a pretty tough thing for athletes in amateur sport sometimes. And I think I read that you describe yourself as a full-time worker and a part-time athlete. Can you maybe share how, like, I guess sponsors making just an everyday difference, I guess, for you, like as a boxer?
Yeah, like I've been working full time since I was 14 and 9 months. So that's a lot of working. I didn't go on leave until two days before I went to the qualifier. So that takes its toll on me. Yeah. I only quit my job 2 weeks ago. So just to focus for the next 3 months leading into Paris. And I think, just financial support for athletes to continue achieving their dreams and winning a gold medal for Australia, that comes at a cost. And any sort of support I can get is fantastic. I think, sponsors coming on board and taking that weight off your shoulders is like crucial. It's imperative. So
Yeah. And I guess also, is there just one moment of what is going to happen in Paris that you just get goosebumps thinking about? Like, I know you said like it might not feel real yet, but is there one moment?
I think, I don't even know. Probably just the opening ceremony, walking under the Eiffel Tower with all the countries and all my family being there in the crowd, and being gearing up for what's to come, the competition and the medal rounds and the gold medal round, hopefully. But don't want to think too far ahead, but that's, I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, like I guess you've traveled a lot already, but do you think Paris might like end up being one of your favorite places that you've actually been to?
I hope so, because I think my experience in Paris will be different to most. So it'll just be that tad bit more special.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Marissa. It was so great to chat to you about Paris, and good luck for later this year at the Olympics.
To support Her Way, visit the link in the description section.